On guys, and welcome back to Above the Middle, a place where we talk about all things personal development with me, Joe Gibson. This week I wanted to talk to you guys about the number one thing that can oftentimes keep us stuck and stop us from creating true productive change. And that right there is resistance. So if you're interested in this guys, then stick around because I'm going to go through what resistance actually is, how it shows up in our life, and how inevitably we have to switch our mindset from one of resistance to one of acceptance in order to pursue true change. So without any further ado guys, let's get straight into it. Now, what is resistance? So bad things happen to us all the time. If you're somebody who goes through life without having any bad things happen to you, then I'm very jealous of you because I'm not that person, and I'm sure many of you guys aren't either. But when bad things happen in our lives, our first kind of instinct is to almost reject it. We go into this kind of denial, defense mode, and ultimately what resistance is any sort of negative emotion shown towards a particular situation. So if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling annoyed, all those things are resistance. Because it's you basically saying, something's happening to me, something's happening in my life, and I do not agree with it. So you're resisting your reality. And this is where a lot of us trip up, is because we stay in this period of resistance for a really long time. And there's nothing wrong with resisting something. In fact, I think that's a really good part of the process, because you want to resist something. You want to know that you don't agree with something so that you can then move forward. So you can say, I don't agree with this and I want it to change. But that period should only be a small period of your time, because otherwise you will stay stuck to the experience. So where many of us trip up is that we spend a really long time in these periods of resistance. And when we spend a really long time in that place, it's no wonder that we feel trapped and we feel like we can't move forward. Because how are you supposed to move forward when you're not even agreeing with what your life is right now? So this video today was just to make you guys be more aware of where resistance is showing up in your life, and why it is integral that if you want to make a change, if you don't agree with something in your life, if you want to make a better life for yourself, that you switch round that mindset of resistance to one of acceptance. Now hear me out for a second, because when we have bad experiences, many of us will think, how can I accept this? How can I accept this bad thing that has happened to me? You know, it made me feel like shit. I hate it. You know, this person mistreated me. Or I'm working in a job which I hate. How am I supposed to accept that? It's making me miserable. Now here's the thing you have to know. Acceptance does not equal agreement. Acceptance is not saying that you love your life. Because if we're being real, I can't make you love your life. I can't make you love a situation that you don't agree with. If you're in a job which you don't like, I can't make you love that. It's impossible. If somebody has mistreated you, I'm not going to be able to make you like them. Acceptance is simply looking at your life situation and accepting where you are. It's looking at a bad thing that's happened and saying, I accept that as my reality. Whether I have contributed towards that or not, that is where I am. That's where my life is. And when you start to accept things for what they are, when you stop denying and you stop resisting, you get freedom in your mind. Because when you're spending too much time resisting your reality, you're going to be filled with sadness and anger and frustration. And how can you be productive when your mind is consumed by those emotions? So let's look at a little example. So maybe you are in a job which you don't like, and you're waking up every day and you're like, oh, I hate this job. I'm working 8 hours a day in this place I hate, but I really want to work towards this other life, towards this other goal, but I just don't know where to start. And so you're walking into work and people are giving you little tasks and mundane tasks, and you're just cursing your life for what it is. You're like, fuck's sakes, how did I end up here? I hate doing these jobs. Why am I wasting all my time in this place I hate? I just wish I wasn't here. AKA resisting your reality. That's what you'll be doing right there. Now, if you want to move out of that situation and start building the life that you truly want, you need to remove yourself from that resistant mindset. And that isn't by saying, I love my job. That's by simply saying, I accept that this is where I am. I accept that I might not enjoy my job right now, but I'm going to free up all this mental space to work towards the life that I want. And here's where the difference lies. You can either be resisting your day and cursing every moment so that when you get home you don't have any energy to work towards getting yourself out of that situation, or you can accept where you are, walk into work and just try and be cool, try and accept every moment for what it is, and understand that when you get home you're going to have all this energy then to work towards getting yourself out of that situation. And this can be applied in loads of different examples. So maybe you're going through a breakup and somebody hurt you. You know, there has to come a point in time where you stop resisting what has happened. You stop saying, oh, how could this happen to me? Why did this happen to me? And you start thinking, okay, this shit happened. I was hurt, but you know, that is my life right now. And here you can even tell just by moving from one mindset to another, there's just a shift in energy there. And I feel like when you're talking about acceptance, it's just this freedom. So when you accept that somebody did hurt you, then you can begin to think, okay, but how am I going to build myself up now? How am I going to get myself to a place where I feel good about myself again? That's really difficult to do when you're spending all your time cursing the fact that somebody hurt you. Because through doing that, you're just remaining attached to that situation. You're remaining attached to that pain. And it's hard to get over pain when you're up close and personal with it all the time. You move yourself from a place of being a victim to somebody who is empowered, who is ready to make change. And in my experience, I try every time that I'm faced with a difficult situation to, one, just note that I don't agree with it, have that initial resistance, but then soon afterwards, accept it for what it is. Great quote by Carl Jung, a Swiss psychologist. He says, what you resist is going to persist. And I think that hits the nail right on the head. And it also goes into just this whole positive psychology stuff. You know, if you have a growth mindset, if you try and look at the bright side of things, I truly believe that your life will reflect that. If I spend every day cursing my life, it's going to feel that way. I'm going to exemplify the bad things in my life. If I look at things as, yes, being things I don't agree with, but then committing to move forward and understanding that I can improve my life will just follow that. There is so much of this that goes into perception. This is where pain turns into suffering. We are all going to experience pain in our lives. What we have the power to actually change is how we react to those situations. And if you spend your time resisting that experience, your pain is going to turn into suffering. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. And the worst thing that we can do for ourselves is prolong our pain and turn it into suffering. So I highly recommend, look at your life and see where you might be resisting things. I can bet you're doing it on the daily, because I do. Do you know when you have plans to do something and you wake up and you're wishing it was a sunny day and you look outside and it's raining, and then suddenly you're in a really bad mood and you're ruining your day because you're in resistance to what is actually happening. And at the end of the day, that is your reality. You can't change that. You can only change how you react to your reality sometimes. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk to you guys about today, was that concept of resistance and acceptance. Understanding what resistance is, so it's any time that you're showing a negative emotion towards something, that'll be resistance to your reality, and then changing that to acceptance. And knowing that acceptance doesn't mean that you have to love something. Acceptance is merely accepting your life for what it is, and not being in denial of your reality. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I love this topic because so much of our suffering is caused by ourselves and our mindset, and you can really start to change your life by just changing the way that you think about things. If you've enjoyed the video, click that subscribe button, leave a comment in the comment section, let me know your thoughts about this. Check back next Wednesday for another video. You can check out my blog over at abovethemiddle.org. I talk about similar stuff, might give you a bit of a different perspective on this. Follow me on Instagram. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you next week. Cheers.